Everyone, Alex here, and today we're gonna take a look at badges or emblems, many people are calling them. So those here, which basically give you all those stats that can be very, very impactful and very strong, and it also increases some skills. So you need to see here how it's called. It's called Warrior Spirit, and then you see at Warrior Spirit. Maybe sometimes it makes sense when you read at the correct kit. So, for example, here it says fast as lightning. The HP threshold for trigger increases to 6%. That might not make sense when you're reading it here, but when you look fast as lightning, you see that for any time that he's healing someone, when they have less than 50% HP, it also gives them a Start the armor, which increases the defense, increases the resistance a bit, and then this increases to 60 and 70%. So this makes it to 60%. So when you have him small, it goes 60% before needing to have the stars on him. That's not really great. What would be great is if it were like plus 10% in any stuff. But even for Kid Flash, you see HP bonus, attack bonus are very strong. Speed bonus can help him heal more often and lap an opponent that would kill you and heal them. So, and heal crit is a percent is when he heals, he has the 7% chance that the healing would be 50% stronger than normally would be. It's a nice little extra that for characters, and that would be like a way I would look and I try to explain emblems is you prioritize the characters that you want to have the biggest, and in the early game you need to take this into account because at 5 stars and there's 5 yellow stars you cannot put the badge, and it should be at rank 6 and not for elites or before that rares. Only epics and legendaries can get the emblem or the badge. And you need to bring them to 6 stars or 1 or 8, and you really want to rush this in many characters in the early game because these badges can really add up when you have investment into this, and it'll be a very nice extra, almost like increasing a stat besides like bringing from, let's say, Superboy. Okay, at rank 6 the ultimate would do more damage, and he would activate the emblem that has the something extra on his kit and can give him a lot of stats. So when you activate an emblem, just to activate it, it gives you like the first level. It gives you 6% stats of 2 stats that is very cheap to do, and it's very important just to activate badges originally. And it requires, there are 3 types of currencies for that. So it requires this one, the inner tron fragment, and this is until you reach them at level 10. It becomes gradually more expensive. It costs, I think, 10, maybe then 15, 20, and all the way up to 50 for the last one. I'm not sure this is exactly the numbers, 5 per one, but it's something like this. It becomes gradually more expensive. And a very nice shopping point that when you start is you bring all your characters that you have, or yes, that you have their budget that you are using often, especially in your first team. You bring them all because you see the first at level 1, of course, because everyone will get a 6% of 2 stats for only 10 of this in Entron or whatever this is called. But then you bring them to level 5, you will see every 5 levels, gives you massive well, it increases the 2 stats that it would already be increasing, but it also adds 2 more stats, and then at here 15 it increases them a lot stronger, and then in 25 it again makes them stronger. So when you first starting with emblems, you want to bring your main team, everyone, to level 5 because it's cheaper to bring them to 5, like 2 characters, than to bring 1 to 10, or 3 characters to 5 maybe than 1 to 10, and you get a massive stat advantage because it adds 2 more stats that can be very nice to have and can help you, especially like Wonder Woman giving her crit damage amplification is very strong. Characters that have a speed is very nice. So those stats differ. All the 4 stats are not the same in every character, and usually there are stats that are fitting with this character's design and the role. It's not always optimal, some badges may be a little bit better than others. Generally speaking, I would prioritize your 5 characters that you're using on main stages more often and in arena, and your strongest characters to 5, and then I would start picking the best characters and bringing them to 10, because at 10 they increase a new skill. There is an upgrade to a skill that's this, for example, for Zatanna, it was adding Frantics that gives them extra crit chance to the ally with the highest attack. Now it gives also more stacks of Frantic, and it increases as the emblem becomes stronger. It gives stacks of Frantic also to the second highest stack, so you can have 2 DPS with her that benefit from the extra crit chance that she is giving them, so they can potentially do more damage, drain, and after 10 it changes the currency, and let me see where I have it. Is purple colored, is this one here, the Nertonite. So you need, again, it's similar, it's cheaper to bring it to bring a character from a badge, or let's show one that I have, like Guy. It costs 10, then it becomes gradually more expensive. You bring everyone to 15, and then you bring everyone to 20. You will bring not to, it won't take you too much to bring everyone to 10, to badge 10, and then you will be more frugal with the Nertronite, and you will be using everyone that you're bringing to 1 red at least to, you're spending the first currency because you cannot convert it or something, and after you reach level 20 the currency changes again, and it becomes basically, it's 3 currencies, like the red one that I have here, that's for mighty characters, then the blue one that is for tactical characters, and the green one that is for agile characters. The one that I have here where it says owned, you can convert them, and if you want to, they are basically flexible, you gain more of those, and you can select where you want to, for which color you want to convert them and what you want to prioritize. 2 emblems that I would prioritize a lot, besides like your strongest characters that do a lot of damage, like Wonder Woman, Constantine, Sinestro. Even before them, especially Zatanna to level 30, I would bring her first to level 30, maybe everyone to 25 for your first team, and then her to level 30. It's more and more expensive again to bring a character, for example, from 20 to 21. It costs 10, and because I have them here from like 25 to 26, it costs 30, and because I have this as an example, it costs 40 to go from 28 to 29, then it costs 50 for the last one, and for epics they stop at 30. There are badges, you cannot upgrade them more than that, but legendaries can potentially go up to level 40, and it's small stat changes. Even at 35 you don't really get anything, and you gain a big stat change at level 40 for the other 2 stats. Generally speaking, this is super expensive, so it costs 50 to begin with, and it moves up I don't know to where, to 100. It's really not worth it. It's better to start doing all your red characters to level 25 before, and a couple of characters that are very strong and you're using often, because you don't get too much of this, especially if you're wasting the rainbow one, the one that is flexible and goes everywhere just on a specific character. I would swap legendaries at 30, and even at 30 it's kinda hard to reach. It will take you maybe a month or something for each character to level 30. It's not extremely available. One other character besides Zatanna at 30, because this is very strong. The first two castings of her advanced attack. That is fast, and she gains also speed from here and from here and from her gear, so she goes very fast. And from her gear, and she goes very fast. So the first two casting of her advanced attack, she gives action bar to all her allies, so you can lap many characters and go before them and basically use your ultimate first, many basics, and kill them before the opponent. This is super impactful. I would do that first. And one character that you really want to bring to 25 is Nightwing, because he gains a lot of block amount, and this makes him a beast and very survivable. At minimum at 15 I would rush him a lot, like maybe even first, because he needs block amount to work. 20 is very nice because it makes him more survivable, and he has a higher chance of landing stuns, because they are based on the buffs that he has, and the emblem at level 20 gives him buffs. And at 25 it changes a lot, because also this block amount and damage reduction plus the HP bonus and defense bonus that he's getting in every level make him a very strong tank. If you have a Nightwing at badge level, without a badge, or level 10 badge, it won't be he won't be super strong. But if it's 15 or 20 or 25 especially, the Nightwing is awesome. Besides that, I would prioritize your strongest characters, because you're using them more often, even if they don't have the strongest badge. First to 5, then to 10, then to 15, then to 20, maybe to 25, then to 30. I would be very selective, and it takes a while. So I am playing since soft launch, and I have one character Wonder Woman at 30, one character Zatanna, and not very far from Nightwing, but he's at 28. I have a couple of characters 25, like Constantine, like Lex, like Batman, because there aren't too many red characters that you want to upgrade. So instead of bringing like Wonder Woman to, I don't know, 33, and just having like a 3% attack and defense bonus, I brought with the same currency, amount of currency, I brought Batman from 2025, where he gets like 10% attack and defense bonus, and a 4% damage amplification and 13.3% crit damage. This does a lot, and Batman definitely has a very nice level 30 of his emblem, where it adds one stack of fear. So that's why I did it, not only just for the 25, because his 30 is also one of the best mighty emblems that you can upgrade, and he's a strong character that is variable late game. And that's it. I don't have other characters. I have most of my characters at 20, but even then, it's really important you stop at 15. I see this on people are putting they have the blue spread apart. It's 21, 22 to 5 different characters. Bring 1 to 25, it will make a massive difference. Bringing, instead of putting the 1.5% attack bonus and defense bonus for each individual level to everyone, have one that has a lot more crit damage and damage amplification. It will make a massive difference. So after a while you can start doing your second and your third team to level 20, or at least you have them to 15, and some other characters that you're using, all of them at 10, but even at 15 it's not too unreasonable that you may be using in league challenges or in specific evil fall situations, or as sometimes to change because you want to do something different on your second or third main stage team. Where you get those the emblems. This also, as a little side note or mention, is that they have posted on their Discord of the game, the official Discord, that this stops at 80% crit damage. So my Wonder Woman right now is having 89.2% crit chance. The maximum she's getting from level 30 bats is 80% extra crit damage. So it's kinda not worth it to do infinite crit on Wonder Woman. But because she also gets frantic from herself, from Zatanna, this is guaranteed to crit the first time from a Red Hood. So it's really overkill to some degree to do that. And this stops at 40%. I don't know if that the second one. I don't know if that means 40% and then times 0.5%, so 20%, or if it's 40% because it's half of 80%, that's the limit at level 3. But a little side note, and one more reason a little bit that you want to prioritize Zatanna from her, or Nightwing maybe. I don't know if I would prioritize Nightwing to 25 instead of Wonder Woman, but he's definitely the third if you have to select between those. There aren't really too many great characters he's using in the arena right now. I kind of want to do those two because it will give them like block amount and stuff, and it's nice, and I use them in arena now. So where you get this, and you can see that here to some degree, like in Crisis Watch. There are some here. Originally the start from the basic one that's for level 10, and as you're increasing the difficulty, it says Aces area. If you see, I cannot change the difficulty now, but and when you finish, there's also like here. As ranked rewards, they give you those. Sometimes it's colored, sometimes it's like this. Depends on the opponents, I guess. Like this used to give blue because Lex is blue. Then the one with Bane, because Bane is green, it was giving the green. Maybe it's at the previous level. Maybe they changed it recently. I don't remember exactly. Sometimes it you can also find those here in Elite Arena. So in seasonal, you start with a more basic one and you go to more and more advanced as you are progressing. Generally speaking, you cannot reach the final two, very very difficult, and even the like 850 is kind of difficult to reach, even if you're doing well. And yeah, in events like the one we had with Superman, you can buy in their stores, but not necessarily the best buy. It's like a nice second option, especially if you are a very beginner and you don't care too much about the specific legendary. Maybe instead of buying the fragments, you can buy this, but it's generally speaking, even if you were to spend, I would much rather spending it on the purple one here. Is a bit more scarce and it gives you a bigger amount of those. But they are in a store like this. There are a few of them in the Elite Arena, at least those two colors. If you are doing great in Elite Arena, you are also moving in the Victor's Arena, and you are getting lots and lots of Elite Arena coins. Then I would start buying those a little bit, especially early game, to start putting a few levels on them. But to max this out every time, you're kind of losing on other fragments, or you need to be doing like really really well. Like at least top 8 in Victor's Arena and to be getting like the 850 so every time, so you have a 1300. If you're close to a level to a character, for example, if I was like 5 away or whatever, or even like 15, and I wanted to rush her because she's an important character, imagine that would be Wonder Woman or like Zatanna or whatever, a character that's using everywhere. Yes, I would buy this, but I'm usually not spending the 10 here. I have spent a few individual buys here. It's not a terrible value. This you will outgrow very soon, so I wouldn't really spend it here. And in the base shop, especially early game when you have a lot of gold, because later on to level up characters becomes more and more expensive for each individual level. And like to gear up characters, for example, this costs 1 million. And their gear, because how is this called? To rank them up, and to their gear is super expensive, so it costs like I think to bring an Epic 3 is 13 million to bring one Epic 3 from 0 to 30, and one to from like an Epic 2 from 0 to 25 cost almost 7 million. And then an Epic 1 costs like 3.5 million. And then it costs like 1.5 to for like a level 15. So they become very expensive to spend a lot of gold on those. But early game, when you're really needing those, or the purple ones, I think they go interchangeably here in the store, or it's random, one of the two. I would spend my gold on that, so I would rush some emblems early on. Okay, apart from that, sometimes they are in here, even like those, or sometimes there's 3 of each individual here, and the more basic colors, like this one and the purple one. A few of the basic one, like these, that I wouldn't necessarily rush. I'm just saying that they are available. Are in stuff like this where you have your decoration filled up, or everything in the bookshelf. It's not always the same, or in the dresser you have it, say 8 or 4. Some of them give those in entrance. It's not. I have finished a few of them, so I'm not really sure which of them they were, or maybe those that I have finished, like the arrows for him, the project here for him, maybe the dresser. I'm not really sure. There are a few here. There are some places in the game where you get them. Also, in Digital Universe, here are a few of the basic one. So here, this limited event had of the two, the blue and the purple one. To level 30, they definitely become very scarce, and I would be very selective to bring characters to level 30, even to 25, but like characters like Wonder Woman, Constantine, Nightwing, Zatanna, Lex, so basically the shopper's characters in the game are no-brainers because you will be using them everywhere. Many people are loving Pandora at level 30 because it gives her Drain a lifesteal on her ultimate. So her ultimate then a big problem with Pandora, or a problem with Pandora, a weakness of hers, is when she uses her ultimate, it heals everyone on your team, but she does damage to herself, and she cannot heal herself, so she's kind of dependent on like Constantine's recuperates if you have them on a team together, and if you when you bring him to level to rank 5. It gives a little bit of a healing every time your team blocks. She's kind of dependent on those small healings to survive herself. When she's at level 30, people are saying that she's also healing herself with a life steal. Like Constantine when he does his ultimate, that it sacrifices HP, but it has 10% life steal, and it ends up healing him more than the damage that he does to himself. It would be similar here. The other characters I already talked about that are generally the strongest. Batman, as I said, level 30 adds fear that can be very strong. Some stats look a bit more interesting, like Constantine giving him a 25. It gives him like a big change at crit damage. And for Green Arrow, for example, at 25, it would give him a smaller change to lifesteal. Or there are characters like Kid Flash having HP bonus and attack bonus looks nicer than having defense bonus on a DPS. So some of them are a little bit nicer than others. Like, okay, you really want like speed bonus, but damage reduction you don't care too much. So if you have like a character, or those that are block and block them out are very strong in a block team, and he's kind of the defensive characters, he benefits from that defense and HP. Like some other characters, maybe like defense bonus for DPS is not that impactful. This is very, very nice. This is a bit more like, okay, lifesteal. Okay, it can help him survive, I guess. Definitely HP bonus and attack bonus are nice, but lifesteal damage reduction end up being smaller stat buffs. Or like someone like him. This actually looks very nice because it 40% action bar reduction is very nice. But giving him reflect, okay, I don't really see too much of the point for that. It's more like to explain a character that he's two-faced and he has one offensive buff here, one defensive. He has HP bonus and reflect, and he has speed bonus and attack. Yeah, but reflect when you have him in the back row doesn't really do too much. Maybe for the front row if you have him a little bit. Again, what I really want to close with, because I've seen alliance mates do that mistake, and or people are facing Elite Arena, and it looks kinda bad to me. Don't bring like each character to 11 and then each character to 12. Bring one character to 15. It will make a massive difference, those stats, to activate them. Be aware that they're getting at 15 big stat, and that it changes the kits, so you, when new characters are released, to know that, do I want to rush this? Like if he has less than 20% of his max HP, then this heals double the amount. Double the amount of, instead of 10% of the damage he took, it's 20% of the damage he took. This looks very nice. In contrast, for example, I don't know what it would be a worse one. Or like this one is very nice. So this gives the back row allies 10% more damage when he does his advanced attack. This has had one stack of bleed for 2 rounds. No, it adds one stack of bleed to targets without bleed. In a, which is called Radical Instinct. So passively he adds bleeds. Upon dealing damage he adds bleeds. He will be adding bleeds to characters that don't have bleed. I've never noticed that happening in the match, but maybe. just one stack of bleed. Maybe if you're building a bleed team, but if you are using him like randomly, it doesn't make. Or this one more character that doesn't have a great emblem, to give an example. So when Weasel attacks an enemy with just an Emblem, he inflicts double the stacks of bleed. For once, he's not really a usable character, and they don't rush his emblem. But just an Emblem hits his front row allies. If both are dead, then he hits the enemy with the lowest percentage of health. So this happens early, and he needs to be under 80% HP to start adding bleeds. So then it will add double the stacks of bleeds. Or Kid Flash that I said earlier, that this is it triggers at 60%, but then increasing his skill to him to level 2, I think to 7 to 2 red. This happens already. Kid Flash is a strong character that you will be using everywhere. It's nice to have him HP bonus and attack bonus. It's also a big reason where you may want to upgrade the emblems, like giving Wonder Woman 45% attack bonus and 32.4% crit damage is super impactful, and the other stats don't hurt. So yeah, you kinda want to have the HP, attack bonus and speed bonus and a little bit the heal crit. But would I rush him to level 10? If someone that I was using on the same team would have a better emblem, like for example this one that gives 2 stacks, 1 stack of frantic for 2 rounds, also to the second attack power, and you can add more damage and survivability from that. Yeah,